It is Trump that is questioning NATO. And her response was measured. And I thought something like that could have been said even earlier, because the Nordics do not lightly make statements like this. But it is Trump whose, very bombastic language, bordering on direct threats and intimidation, is threatening de facto another ally. So when one of the leading allies is indeed undermining bilateral, but also multilateral at all levels relations with another ally, of course, it undermines NATO's cohesion and credibility, and it serves only our adversaries, such as Russia and China. This is where NATO Secretary General should also express solidarity to Denmark and facilitate dialogue between them. And if these threats do not stop, then there are other measures that Denmark and Greenland could take, such as, for example, invoke NATO's Article 4, such as, for example, even take legal action, whereby you send a very powerful message that this is unacceptable. What if he brought actually US troops to Greenland, saying, look, I'm just reinforcing the existing base? At what point would we look at it as a potential takeover? Or at what point is it actually just US reinforcements of its own bases and infrastructure in Greenland? So there has to be, whatever US does, there has to be a consent from Greenland and Denmark. Now, the Secretary General indeed could have come forward showing solidarity to Denmark, because these are two NATO's allies that are, having a disagreement, so to say, very much in the open. So I think indeed he will do that now after it reached a little bit of a higher level. Informally, but also through more formal NATO's internal procedures. But I think we missed a voice of NATO Secretary General on this matter. That's his job. This is why he's NATO Secretary General. The main core responsibility of NATO Secretary General is to keep the family together. And that very much means Europe and North America. So he wouldn't be in that job, and he wouldn't be NATO Secretary General if he would not be trying to do that right now. Whether it's easy, it is not. It's a very hard job that he has, but he was picked for a reason, in anticipation, actually, of potential Trump's arrival. And this is why it would be really helpful if America, instead of coming out so in the open and using public media and social media platforms, if it just, approached allies in a more consultative manner, as Europeans and America have always done. But we know that Trump rejects actually multilateralism. He believes that nation states are the prime drivers of international relations and politics. But this is something that indeed could NATO Secretary General again could flag to his fellow American ally.